Welcome to Drop the Clutch podcast.
Hey everyone, this is season 2, episode 2 of Drop the Clutch. Tonight it's just me and Sam because everybody else is unavailable. So that's great. Might possibly recording with Frankie as well later in the week. So we got that as well, hopefully. But how are you, Sam?
I'm good, thank you, Ruth. For yourself?
Yeah, I'm okay. My voice is a bit after hockey and speedway back to back on Sunday and Monday. My voice is a bit hoarse.
After shouting.
Yeah. Which meetings have you been to so far this season?
My first meeting of the season was, I can't remember the date, but it was Oxford, with Birmingham away at Oxford.
Yeah.
And as I remember, it was actually the first fixture that actually was released of the season, because there was meant to have been other fixtures on as well the same night, but they got rained off due to bad weather, and then it was only Oxford versus Birmingham that was on. And by the time we got to because it started to drizzle it down of rain, and we looked at the track and we says, the track doesn't look very good. It's wet but they managed to do all 15 heats, which was phenomenal.
Mm.
It was a really good meeting. And I thought, is this meeting going to be on because of how the track's looking? But they managed to get it, and we managed to see some really good racing of speedway, and it was a good turnout as well. There was a decent crowd there, so it was good. It was great to see, and it was it was a shame due to Carl Howarth was meant to have had his testimonial at Sheffield as well, but also that got rained off as well. So,
Yeah.
but we were lucky to have see some speedway. So,
Oh, that's good. You told me earlier that you went to Leicester as well to watch the Kings End meeting.
Yes, I did. Yeah, I wanted to just see how that, just tag along with that, and just see because I know Kings Lynn have got a bit of a better side this year, and I know that Leicester's probably not one of my favourite circuits because it is a very weird shape. Leicester, as you've said as well, because the straights I find are too long. I think you might agree with me there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good meeting of that as well. I think Heat 2 was a bit because of I don't know whether you knew about what happened in Heat 2.
Yeah, being investigated, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. Joe Thompson pulled a massive locker, and then Drew Kemp was I think Drew Kemp was nearly went over the top of him, but luckily avoided him. So they had to rerun it again. So that was, but the rest of the meeting was brilliant. It was a nice atmosphere, and there was a decent crowd again there at Leicester again. So
that's good then.
Yeah,
they've done work on the track at Leicester in recent seasons, so it's a bit better than it has been previously. So it makes for good racing now, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a lot better now. Yeah, since when we went in 2021.
Yeah,
and it wasn't. Yeah, it's much better than it was, but it's never been. But yeah, it was a lot better last week. So it's seen some good entertainment and good racing, but obviously no one likes to see anybody injured. Same with ice hockey, that's sport, isn't it? It's going to happen at some point. But yeah, it was a good meeting. I enjoyed it at Leicester. I did get sprayed a few times with shale, and as soon as it bounced off the side of my face, it really hurt. Because it was quite hard stuff. Yeah, it is quite hard, isn't it, the shale?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was. I think the ref was quite good. I think the BSN were there as well, so I saw the stand for BSN. So, but yeah, Kings Lynn have got a really better team this year. I must admit, because they've been struggling, and they the past few seasons. I mean, they were in a mess last season.
I think it's hard to predict who's going to win meetings in the Premiership this year, just because I reckon the teams are so balanced, and it just depends on the odd one or two riders in every team to click and actually get it right for a team to be unstoppable. For example, you got Lampard at Birmingham. If he finds some consistency, I reckon he'll be good. And then who else is it? You've got I'm trying to think. It's not any of the other Birmingham riders. I'm trying to think of who it is. But yeah, I can't think of who it is off the top of my head.
Do you know who he rides for?
Adam Ellis for Ipswich, that's it. If he
That's
has
it,
a good
Adam Ellis.
season, then I can't see past Ipswich finishing top of the league, to be fair.
Yeah, I had a conversation about it. We were having a conversation about it Monday night, and someone who was speaking to reckon Ipswich will smash it.
Yeah. Because if Adam Ellis is good, then they've basically got 4 heat leaders.
So that's obviously
Doyley and Emil, and then Danny King, and then Ellis as well.
yes. I'll tell you another rider who probably needs to boost up a bit this season. I mean, I know last season was his first season in British Speedway, but Keenan Rue.
Yeah, he had some good flashes. If he can figure it out and again find some consistency, then Ipswich are going to be a very hard team to beat.
Definitely. I mean, Emil Saifoudinov was the highest average in the Premiership, wasn't he?
He was. He's unstoppable sometimes.
The speed he got as well, and I don't think anybody could catch him half of the time.
True.
But I know obviously in the Championship, Chris Harris had it was the highest average, I think, wasn't it? Was it Chris Harris in the Championship?
I think so, yeah.
And I think in the National League it was what's his name? Rice for Bellevue now, and I think has he gone back to Glasgow in the Championship? Oh, what's his name? Connor Bailey.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's who I'm thinking. Yeah, Connor Bailey. Yeah, I think he had the highest one in the National League, but obviously this season he's with Bellevue, and is he back with Glasgow as well?
No, he's at Redcar again because he left Glasgow the season before, and then he went to Redcar, and now he's back at Redcar this year.
Oh wow, yeah. I like Connor Bailey. I think he's looking to be a decent rider as well, obviously. But because obviously has he been British youth champion? Has he?
Current under-21 champ, yeah.
Oh, is he under-21? Yeah. So, but yeah, I think I don't know if some people are not relating Bellevue this year. That was their side.
They've picked up 2 good riders in Ben Cook and Connor Mountain, but they've lost the strengths of Tom Brennan and Charles Wright round Bellevue.
Yes, they have.
Because obviously those 2 were always consistent.
They were brilliant round there, weren't they?
Mm.
Tom Brennan's with Birmingham and Charles Wright's with Oxford.
But they wanted to keep their top 3 of Bewley, Kurtz and Lidsey, so that a couple of riders had to go, and Charles and Tom aren't assets at Bellevue, so they were the obvious ones.
Yeah, I mean Brady Kurtz, was it when he was at Ipswich? They were at Ipswich. Was it last week? The Peter Craven, he was on fire all night.
Yeah,
Brady Kurtz, and I wonder if he's probably not consistent to be a GP rider yet. Because loads of folks are saying that he'd be great to see him as a GP rider.
Well, he's in the race for qualification this year, so I wouldn't say no, because he like you say, he's on fire at the minute, and he's my one to watch for Bellevue this season.
Oh yeah, me too. I was just going to say he's my man as well. and then obviously I think trying to think my man to watch for obviously my man to watch for Oxford is Magic Janowski.
Mm.
Um, and then Ipswich is Saifuddinov again.
Mm.
And then off probably for Leicester. I don't know.
I reckon Luke Becker's going to be a sneaky tactic, so he'll be good when he needs to be. Especially
Yes,
with a change of
definitely.
scenery as well, because he's been at Wolverhampton the entire time he's been riding in this country. So I reckon the change of scenery will do him good and he'll kick on a bit this season.
Definitely. It'll do, he'll be different management as well, won't he? And he'll have more experience as well. And obviously, I think the Americans like more of the tighter tracks, don't they? I think Leicester's quite tight. And obviously being with Wolverhampton, really, he was his home really to him, wasn't it? Over because that's the only club he rode for, isn't it? Wolverhampton.
Yeah.
So now he's with Leicester. Leicester, he'll have a bit more different experience, won't he? So he'll have different faces in the team as well. Obviously, he's familiar, obviously, with Sam Masters and Ryan Douglas there.
Andrew Kemp, because he were
And
big.
Drew Kemp. Oh yeah, Drew Kemp.
Was it 2022? Drew Kemp and Leon Flint rode for Wolverhampton. It was, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
He
I
didn't have
remember.
Drew Kemp didn't have a ride over here for a while, and then he got picked up by Leicester in the second half of last season, didn't he?
Yes, he did. He did. Because he was he riding abroad or something.
Yeah.
I think Kemp's come on pretty well now than he used to be.
He's done well. It's just a case of seeing how far he keeps going.
Yeah, I think he was quite inconsistent before. But I mean, when he rode for Wolverhampton, he was shocking. But then since he came back last year for Leicester, he did brilliantly.
He's changed some stuff, hasn't he? So that's good.
That's good. So he's probably been having some experience abroad as well, hasn't he?
What we've done it. Ipswich, we've done Leicester, done Oxford.
Kings Lynn.
Yeah.
Kings Lynn. I'm going for. I don't know about you, but I think I'm going for Vadim Terashenko.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
He was.
Definitely.
I mean, when he came over last season, they signed him at Peterborough, and then he went to Glasgow as well, didn't they?
Yeah.
I was impressed with him by
Me
his
too.
performance.
Mm.
But obviously, I think he's related to Artem Laguta and Gregory Laguta. I think it's their nephew, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but Vadim Terashenko is definitely one to watch for me for Kings Lynn, I think, this season. And that Patrick Woodgelow.
Yeah.
Well, I can't pronounce his last name, but
Woodgelow.
yeah, that's it. Because he signed. Well, he was only with Peterborough for was it a few meetings last
Yeah.
season as well. But yeah, I think Terashenko I'm going for Kings Lynn.
Well, I'd say that's fair enough.
And Sheffield. Oh gosh, they've got a good side, haven't they? So I'm go
Gotta
for
be Woofy.
probably Woofy, yeah.
Yeah, for me, it's gotta be Woofy.
Woofenden. I mean, he did well at Brum on Monday night, didn't he?
Yeah, slow start, but then he got up the pace. All the Sheffield riders, to be fair, on Monday had a bit of a slow start, and then they finished well, and the Brummies just sort of tailed off a bit.
That's it. I mean, I think for and obviously, I mean, off Heat 1 as soon as So I mean, Tom Brennan knows Brum very. He's guessed for you loads of times, hasn't he, Tom Brennan? And as soon as I saw him when he signed for Birmingham, I thought about you straight away. I was a bit, you're happy and everything. And Leon Flint obviously knows it, and Leon Flint did well. I think I think Leon Flint's more of a bigger track rider because he always struggled around Mon more.
Well, he got 9 points for Brum, so it just shows that I reckon this year being at Birmingham with a track that he's ridden before and that he's familiar with, that he'll finally progress past the rising star thing in the system in the not the championship, in the Premiership.
Premiership, yeah, because he's been, how many years now has he been with Rising Star? Has it been about
21, because he came in after Tom Bacon retired in 21.
Yes, he did, didn't he? Yeah, so let's hope, because I mean, Leon Flint this season, I think he'll only have one last time doing the was it the under 21 no, not for
the under 21 Grand Prix series.
Yeah, because he's 20. I think he's 21 now, isn't he? Because next year he'll be 22, won't he?
Yeah, but he's still eligible because I don't think he was 21 in January. So I think it's, if you're 21 like in or after January, you're still eligible for one last season, and then after that you're not eligible anymore. I'm not sure. I'll have to clarify the rule on that, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Yeah. I think I'm trying to think with the man to watch for Birmingham. Who do you think you're going for?
Well, in my predictions, I said Tom, just because he knows Birmingham well. Excuse the dog barking in the background. I'll have to edit that bit out. But yeah, I had to go with Tom just because he did so well around Birmingham in the championship with guest appearances, and it's a track he knows. So yeah, I reckon he does well. But then when Palicki comes in, it'll be interesting to see how he gets on.
Yes.
And I think the more laps Milik does round Perry Bar, the better. And I reckon as the season goes on, he'll get better and better.
Yes, definitely. I think most people are waiting to see Pavlicki, aren't they? Most of the Birmingham fans. I mean, Piotr Pavlicki, I've always before, because he survived for Coventry and Paul and Wolverhampton, didn't he? I know his brother Premislav Pavlicki has ridden for Paul as well.
Yeah.
But I've always preferred Premislav for some at the two of them. I don't know why, but Piotr, he might. Let's hope. Hopefully, he'll when he comes when he comes back. Let's see. He'll be interesting because I think he's quite entertaining, really.
He'll come in at number one, I think, because also another thing with Milik is that he's been forced in at number one straight away. And I think he wasn't expecting to be there straight away. So when he moves to 5, when Palicki comes back in, I reckon they'll both be better. And because they're best mates and they'll be travelling together and everything, I reckon they'll get better as the season goes on, and they'll be able to score points when it counts.
Definitely. I mean, I think with Milik, he's. I mean, obviously he did better for Birmingham on Monday, but he wasn't. He wasn't. He was really not good at Oxford. He only scored 1.
True, but if you compare the track conditions at Oxford, how wet it was, if that had been a meeting on the continent, it wouldn't have gone ahead. That's exactly the difference.
And
That is
obviously, I
very
mean,
much the difference.
much the difference. Yeah, obviously the track was good at Birmingham Monday night, but then obviously that's probably why he rode better Monday night.
I heard on Monday it was packed quite a bit because they were expecting a bit of rain on Monday. But
Yeah,
the rain that ironically never came because it just drizzled. But yeah, because I noticed that the track became slicker as the meeting went on, and they really should have. I'm not a track curator, but in my humble opinion, they should have put a bit more water on it than what they did put on it.
me too.
Because it got to the last few races of the meeting and there was no outside line at all.
But yeah,
That's why they
yeah,
packed it. So maybe when the weather gets a bit drier over the summer, we'll be able to see a bit more like racing and a bit more of an outside line. But yeah.
yeah, definitely. It's just it's still it's been early days, isn't it? Well, it's early in the spring as well, isn't it? So I mean, the season's just started as well. So, but yeah, we'll start to notice as the season goes on, and obviously with the summer, it's more better then, isn't it? But you know, obviously when if it's baking hot or anything, obviously the tracks do need to be watered then.
I don't think it's going to be that hot again this year, to be fair. But I suppose we'll wait and see. I wouldn't mind a summer like last year when it was just nice last season. There was no like real hot, overly hot spells. So
Yeah, I don't like the baking hot weather. I mean, 2022, that was
oh yeah, that was
that was
horrible.
horrible. I think some areas went up to about 40 degrees, didn't it? You know, and it's just,
Yeah,
I just
no
don't know
thank
how,
you.
I don't know
Yeah,
how speedway riders do it in that heat, you
I
know,
don't
and
know. But yeah,
we'll see. But yeah, so it'll be in Oxford. What do you think about with Oxford when they come on Monday? What do you think about that
it'll be
meeting?
an interesting meeting. It'll be a bit like Monday. It'll be close. I
Yeah, I'm
reckon it'll be close.
trying to think they're probably their heat leaders for Oxford. It'll be Janowski, won't it? And
Bomber,
Janowski, Bomber.
Rowan Tongate. There's a few in there, so hopefully the place is packed out again like it was on Monday. And
Definitely.
it's Easter bank holiday as well, isn't it? So
It'll probably be probably we might see another good crowd on
yeah,
Monday night because you know we were listening to what Nigel Tolley was saying on Monday night as well. I think he was impressed to see what turnout it has been, and you know, because obviously there's been a lot of talk with that Alexandra Stadium, hasn't there? Have you heard about it?
yeah. My do you want my totally honest opinion on this, or do you want my agreeing opinion on this?
Go for the agreeing one.
It's unlikely that'll happen. It's unlikely that'll happen just because the way Birmingham City Council are. And if I'm being completely honest, as much as I like the bloke, I'd love to know what, like, if he. No, I'm not going to say what I'm thinking, but you know, that's not going to happen just because I know the council and I work as part of a group just that works with the council. I know what they're like, and I can tell you now that won't happen.
Yeah, I decided whether to bring it up or not in case you've heard about it. Obviously, you probably would have heard about it, and the
Uh,
folks who be watching probably would have heard about it as well. Um,
The council won't approve a planning application for it because they're on about selling the stadium off to try and recoup some money because the council's still bankrupt. And yeah, the Birmingham are also in the bid for the Invictus Games in 2027. I found out today. So yeah, that's it. That's probably a pipe dream. I heard another rumor as well the other day about them buying out Birmingham Wheels, but that's got an approved planning application on it already. That's sat empty, waiting to be torn down to be a football stadium, believe it or not. So I don't know what's true and what's not at the moment, but
there's all sorts, isn't there?
But Birmingham Wheels has been closed 18 months now. So, and from what I've heard, there's planning applications in the works for that, and I'm pretty sure I'm not entirely sure that a planning application has been approved for that already. So I don't know.
You never know, do you? And rumours are rumours as well, aren't they?
Mm.
But yeah, we'll just make the most of, obviously. And it's great to, obviously, I was going to say it's great to see Birmingham back in the Premiership again.
Definitely.
Because I know that's with your aim, wasn't it, to get back in the top flight, and now it's happened. Obviously, Oxford have stepped back up again, haven't they, as well? And that's the question. They're doing all three leagues.
Mental.
I've never, since I've been following Speedway, I've never seen a team that's done that.
Me neither. Weird.
It'll be interesting, obviously, if the Spires in the Premiership, Cheetahs in the Championship, and Chargers in the National League. And I don't follow National League that much now.
I haven't for a while. I did a bit last season because I went to a few Colts matches at Bellevue, but other than that, I haven't really followed it that much.
Yeah.
But,
Trying to think who's with the Colts this year.
I don't know. Can't remember off the top of my head.
But how about the Championship? Have you got any? Are you following any Championship this year, or not much, maybe? Or
Not really. There's a few riders that I'm gonna be keeping my eye on. But yeah, Poole looked pretty good. Glasgow, they look alright, but a lot of hinges on Paul Stark, I reckon.
that's who I was wondering the other day. Where Paul Stark's gone to? He's back at Glasgow, isn't he?
A lot will hinge on him, but I reckon they've got some good names and faces in that team. They got Bomber, Worrell, and Flinty, don't they? So
James Pearson as well. And have they got they haven't got Lee Complin back there, have they?
Yeah.
Oh, have they? They've got Lee Complin back. I don't rate Workington really.
They've got a team. They've got a fair few unknowns in their team, I think. So we'll have to wait and see.
Because they've recently signed Klaus Fizzin, haven't they?
Oh boy! Somebody better keep an eye on him. Make sure he don't go missing again.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I was going to say, oh no, it's because obviously I know he's let you down, obviously Birmingham down. So what's he going to do with Workington?
Yeah.
But
They need
obviously
to keep an eye on him.
yeah, they do. And I know they've got Batchelor and Cook and Tate. I can't pronounce. How do you pronounce his name?
Shiski.
Shishki. That's it. Tate Shishki.
Yeah.
And the first female, Selena Libman.
Yeah.
And the other one, he wears glasses. I can't remember. And then the Sam McGurk. So we'll have to see how they'll go. But I think Craig Cook's ridden for Workington before.
Yeah, but it was at the old track.
It was the old one, wasn't it? Yeah. That's where Dan Bewley had that nasty one, if you remember. Was it 2018?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and also there's one team in the Championship at the moment that I'm really feeling for, and that's Plymouth.
Mm.
Because they're not ready, are they? They put today not ready with the picture of Ben Barker on there.
We'll see.
Because obviously, yeah, they've lost Nico Cavotti. So they need to find a reply. But I've been hearing Edward Kennett or Eric Riss.
Okay, I'll wait to see if that actually happens.
Yeah, I don't know, but I haven't heard about Eddie Kennett. I don't know what's happened to him.
The rider that got injured last season, and then they just used either a guest or rider replacement for him all season.
I think, yeah, it was, wasn't it?
Hmm.
Yeah. It's interesting. Trying to think who else we've got in there. There's Edinburgh.
Yeah. Can't remember
Edinburgh
their
got
team.
Edinburgh have got Pickering, haven't they? And they've got Mr. Paco Castagna. And
Yeah.
I bet he hasn't changed. I think who else they've got?
Justin Sedgman.
Justin Sedgman, yeah. Oh blimey, I can't remember who else they've got.
No, me neither.
And Berwick, they've got and there's Berwick too.
True. They've got a good team this year.
They have. I was thinking that, yeah, they've got Rory Schlein, Lewis Kerr, Drew Kemp, Joy Etheridge. I think they've got Etheridge back.
Yeah,
Oh,
they do.
Joy Etheridge is a funny rider, I think.
Yeah.
Seems to get injured a lot.
True.
I think, have they got Thomas Jorgensen back there?
No.
Because he's not, he hasn't been doing King's Lynn for a bit, has it? I don't know what's been happening to Jorgensen.
Me neither.
I think whether they've got Jonas Knudsen back. Obviously, you've got the likes of Scunthorpe and Redcar as well, and Oxford Cheetahs. Yeah, it's be interesting.
Yeah, should be. Be a good season.
Yeah, definitely. Especially, but we talk about how all the big names are coming back. I don't know whether it's something to do with that they've all been wanting to come back to British Speedway. I don't know whether what's made them all come back.
Yeah. True. But Sweden's sort of gone downhill a bit recently. Maybe that's why. But I don't know the exact reasons. But other than that.
It's nice to see him returning, isn't it?
Definitely.
So
I think we've covered a fair bit. Should we leave it there?
yeah, shall we? Shall we wrap it up?
Cheers for this laid back chat, Sam. It was nice to catch up.
No problem at all. Thank you for having me again.
Right. Well, see you in a bit, everyone.
See you in a bit, guys.
Hello, everybody. This is part 2 of episode 2 of season 2 of Drop the Clutch. This afternoon, I'm joined by Frankie. Hi,
Two of
Frankie.
the two.
Yeah. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Early first meetings are postponed, completed, postponed. Yeah, you get the picture.
Well, that is March and rain for you. So
Yes. but at least we're getting some meetings in, which is more than we normally get.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, you're at Plymouth.
Oh. Okay. Their track doesn't look very good.
I would be honest, I haven't seen photos on the track, but if they're saying they did heavy work over the winter, I'm not massively surprised they've had to postpone opening meetings.
I've seen photos, but I'm not sure from when they're from, of a massive digger on the track. So maybe
I'd be surprised if that's recent.
Mm.
But yeah, it's certainly not unheard of for if you have a stadium, if you redeveloping the track in some way, the track hasn't bedded in, so the amount of rainfall you get in early March does cause problems. So I think it's less of a. It got quoted on Speedway Shambles on Twitter. Of course, it did. I don't think it's a shambles. I think, I just think that's just normal track. The surface hasn't bedded in properly, and water's caused problems. It's going to happen.
Yeah, but they had plenty of time to get stuff sorted over the winter.
Yeah, but
the question is, why haven't they done it?
You can't accelerate the time it takes for a track to bed in.
True.
If someone had left the hose on, then fair enough. But as far as we're aware, no one has left a hose on there.
No.
So I don't actually have a problem with that. I think it's wise they've done it as early as they have. They've given at least a few days' notice for the nearest meeting and then called off the next one as well. So I think it's fair. So long as it doesn't become a recurring issue. It's not like Kings Lynn's damaged fucking pit gate last year.
True.
So I have no problem with it. As for meetings completed, I've seen one on BSN. I didn't go to it. Leicester versus Kings Lynn. Ever the drama, as there is. Whoever watched that will remember drama in consecutive heats 2 and 3.
I didn't watch it.
No, someone's probably clipped it up on YouTube or something like that. But Heat 2, very spaced out. Drew Kemp pulls a locker in the apex of 3 and 4. On the last lap, and Joe Thompson rides to the side of him. Neither rider is excluded. I looked at the program after the meeting, the referee's scorecard. He's put both riders as fell and race completed.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I agree with that decision. I didn't agree with it at the time, but I watched back at it. When Drew Kemp has pulled that locker, Joe Thompson hasn't entered the third turn. He could have avoided Drew Kemp.
Yeah.
So the view of the referee, and to be honest, the view of me now is that both riders have gone down on their own. It's entirely their fault. So it's a 5-0.
Yeah.
In truth, I mean, if you're being really technical, the referees excluded both of them for receiving outside assistance. But let's not go down that rabbit hole. But then in Heat 3, start marshal, twat as he is, left the cone out on the start line.
Wow.
This is always an interesting one. I've never seen a race called back because of it. I understand. I know that some riders have hit the cones before, if it is there. But if a rider hasn't hit it, I've never seen a race called back for it.
Start marshal just has to move it pretty quick while the other side of the track, wouldn't he?
Yeah. It is a safety issue. Particularly if a track's fairly new one line, then it's perfectly common for riders to come in fairly tight on the home straight. But I've never seen a rider hit it personally. I know some riders have. I've never seen a race stopped because it's there, and I've never seen a race ordered to be rerun after it's been completed because it's there. The referee has an absolute power to stop a race for any reason if they deem it necessary. But one of those reasons is a safety concern. So if the referee has deemed that it's not an immediate threat to riders by being on the track, he is entitled to continue running the race. But the results stood. I think Michael Palmtoff was unhappy about that, but I can't prove for certain he wasn't going to retire anyway. But it's what it is. For the rest of the meeting, however, it was very spaced out between riders. There's minimal racing really, but you get that in March. Like what I was saying earlier about tracks not bedding in, you can't really put down dirt on a track this early because the material just will not develop. You just end up one-line racing, which is why for racing quality, March isn't great.
Yeah, true.
But that's all I've seen so far. I've paid distant attention to other fixtures. But like Oxford, a good win against Sheffield at home, and Birmingham somehow holding Sheffield to a draw at home.
What do you mean by somehow? Rude.
Spot the Brummie.
We had a 10-point lead at one point. It's just they finally, the Sheffield riders finally woke up.
Yeah.
It only took them 10 heats.
On another point, do we have a new date for the Ben Fund yet?
No.
That'll be in November probably.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
But yeah, so early fixtures are fairly smooth. I like that if we're starting in March, I kind of like they are getting the Premiership started early, rather than what they have done in the past, which is run the Knockout Cup or the Supporters Cup or whatever the cup competition is this week in March and April, and then start the league in May, only to find out, oh shit, we've run out of heats or run out of nights. Sorry.
Yeah.
I prefer that. It just begs the question then: why are Eurosport waiting until after the first Grand Prix to start broadcasting British League coverage?
Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? I don't know. I don't know if I want to.
Good. How accurate were they?
So I got Oxford versus Sheffield. I got a Sheffield away win, 47-43.
You got
But
right
the
score,
result
wrong way round.
wasn't. Yeah. I was very wrong on the Ipswich Bellevue score.
How badly?
I got a Bellevue away win 46-44. But it was an Ipswich win 51-39.
Yeah.
And then Leicester Kings Lynn, I was a point off because it was 47-42. And I got 47-43.
Yeah, referee screwed you there.
But yeah. So I was nearly right.
Yeah.
Far off. I'm better
at
predicting speedway results than I am hockey results.
Yeah, I mean, you can never predict this sport anyway, can you? So
no, true. That's
unless your prediction is postponed, you can't predict this sport.
I could say that at the moment.
Yeah.
We were meant to go to Ipswich last night, but the weather was like, do we go? Do we not? And then because it's 3 hours, and we didn't want to get there and it be rained off, we decided we weren't going, and then the meeting went ahead.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
Yeah, but had we got there, it would have started pissing it down with rain, and it would have been rained off. So, damned if you do, damned if you don't. So
basically, you just wait until the Met Office issue a heat warning, and then you go.
Oh God! Hot weather. No, thank you.
So have nightmares of your time at Cardiff 2 years ago.
I nearly got a heat stroke that day.
I said it would be hot.
I have. I vaguely remember pouring a bottle of water all over my head. because I was sweating that much.
Mm.
Because me, being the dickhead I was, because Tom Brennan was the reserve, decided I was going to wear my Tom Brennan shirt and cap, which is all black.
Ah.
And then I wore black shorts.
That was your first mistake.
You think? So yeah, I don't think I'm going this year anyway. I know I'm doing
No.
the Nations in Manchester, but I don't think I'm going Cardiff this year.
Yeah. But that's the fixtures up until now. Did you get a prediction for yesterday's meeting, Ipswich Birmingham?
I did. I was 1 point off either way. I was expecting it to be 50-40.
Okay.
And considering Birmingham were leading for a time as well, it's just because Milik hasn't ridden here for so long and Scott Nichols is on a 5-point average. But get this, the new averages for April have come in already.
Oh shit, have they?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
even though...
it's supposed to be released on like the 23rd of the month or something, I think.
And Scott Nichols has gone from number 5 to number 6. Which is ridiculous. Yeah.
Now.
But apparently Palicki's coming back in Thursday.
Well, at least he is coming back in. That's something.
We need him to lead from the front because I reckon
Pavlicki will lead.
Sort of been thrown in at number 1.
Pavlicki will lead from the fence.
Ha ha. Ha ha. Very funny.
But I think for injury replacement, this isn't really a question to be asked. But if this was any other time in the season, who do you get rid of to bring Pavlicki back in? I know that currently under the rules, but by the time it is, you have to take Scott Nichols out because it's an injury replacement to the side. But Nichols has just been moved to 6. Do you lose him at 6 if you can avoid it?
Yeah, because of his TV commitments.
True.
That's the only reason.
Although knowing Eurosport, they would probably just put a camera and a microphone in his helmet. So I wouldn't put it past them at this point.
But yeah, just because of his TV commitments, he said it was temporary. So I think he means it was temporary. So good.
Yeah. Well, that would then push. That keeps Zach Cook in 6, then, wouldn't it? Because Pavlicki come in on a 7-5.
Yeah, just because last night Leon Flint had 3 rides, and I don't think he finished 1 race because he had bike troubles all night.
Oh, retired, reserve switch.
Yeah. So had he been able to get some points, I reckon it might have been a bit closer.
That's brought me back to a meeting at Swindon. We had 2 guest reserves, and neither of them could stay on their bikes in the first 2 heats.
Bike troubles happen, and I reckon if like Zach had been able to pick up another couple of points, and Lampart's finding some consistency as well, which is nice. It's just a few points here and there that they're lacking. And they'll be winning, I reckon, if they can if everyone can find consistency. So I'm not worried.
Fair enough. What else? What else is there? I think looking down these averages, I do wonder how they've made some of these averages though, because a lot of them have gone. I know they're switching to like a rolling average last 20 meetings or something like that. But I think some of these sides haven't even ridden, have they?
I think every Premiership team's ridden now.
Yeah. I wouldn't be sure. Oh yeah, no, they have all ridden, but varying amounts of meetings.
Oxford have done 2. Sheffield have done 2.
Yeah, Birmingham 3, Ipswich 2, and the rest 1.
I'd hardly say that's enough for new averages personally, but whatever.
But it's
The
because it
BSBA
is
we're talking about.
because it's a rolling system now. The meetings that happen done have just pushed out other meetings on the other end.
Okay.
So it makes more sense because then you're removing 2023's results, and then as well releasing it on the same day at the end of the month makes it more consistent.
Okay.
At least I think that's what they go for. They tend to release it. It is around the 23rd, 24th of the month, from what I can tell.
Fair enough.
One thing I find odd though is the transponder numbers aren't included in the green sheets this year. I hopefully that's just an oversight.
Maybe they haven't got them yet.
Maybe.
Because I haven't seen any yet.
That's just reminded me. The SCB said they were going to. That when I was talking about those decisions in Leicester versus Kings Lynn, the SCB say they're investigating it. I don't see what is there to investigate.
This happened. What do you want to do about it?
Yeah, it's like you can argue the toss about the cone being on the start line being a safety hazard, and like yes, it is, but no one hit it, thankfully. The decision in Heat 2, in my opinion, was correct, and either way, there's no right to protest it anyway. So I don't.
Oh, that's going to be controversial with the listeners.
It can be controversial as much as it genuinely isn't. Decisions by referees made regarding heats are considered a statement of fact. But yeah, I don't think there's an awful lot to really think about. There's no other drama or anything. There's a question mark over whether a rider, I can't remember which one, probably Drew Kemp, I think it was, whether he hit the tapes in Heat 14. Live, I didn't think he did, and I think the replays are inconclusive. But generally, once a referee's made his decision, he won't change his mind.
True.
So it'll be that much. That will be interesting to see where that goes. But I'm not sure what they're looking at. I've seen far worse decisions made by referees in the past. So
yeah, I'd say so. What did you hear about the drama with the superheat at the Birmingham meeting?
No, what happened?
I wasn't really watching it, to be fair.
This was at Perry Bar, was it?
I wasn't really watching it because the stupid heat is as I like to call the superheat, the stupid heat is a stupid idea.
Well, I
wasn't really watching it.
If you want it, it should just be 2-rider runoff. Like, stop.
Also, what the hell is wrong with the draw?
I mean, aggregate draw I can understand, but stopped. Milik fell on his own and is excluded. Rerun with 3 riders only is what they're saying. Doesn't sound controversial to me.
I can't, like I say, I can't remember because I didn't really watch it because I think it's stupid.
It is. Like I said,
I gave it the nickname the stupid heat.
Yeah, it's a thing that's been introduced for television, and
yeah,
I didn't like it when they introduced television either because it's when I was complaining. I complained a few years ago about the point system for meetings being too complicated, and it is just simplify it. So a win is 2 points, a draw is 1 point, a loss is no points, and you get bonus point for aggregate score. Very simple, very simple. And somehow they've picked that and made it even more complicated than the old system was.
Yeah. Again, this is the BSBA we're talking about. I get this stuff with the media day and that, it looks good, but when your product isn't great anyway, it sort of defeats the object, doesn't it?
Yeah, but it's not even just the BSPA that are doing it. I was thinking more about this. I was redesigning my programs last week. I was thinking more about this. What they call it, the special race or something in fucking GPs. That one where it's the top four riders in the qualifying go through to win extra points or something.
Oh, that dumb shit that they've brought in.
Yeah, I was thinking about that the other day. I thought that they introduced the normalized points thing because sponsors were confused by why like the winner of the meeting didn't come out with the most points. So they normalized the points so that the winner will always get the most points. And now they've introduced a setup, which means the winner may not always get the most points.
For fuck's sake.
Like, what's the fucking point? Just go back to the old system where every point mattered. Like,
Well, yeah, because you get to the semi-finals now and the points don't matter. It doesn't matter what you score in the main meeting.
it's
It's dumb.
Yeah, if you want the chance for the meeting winner to get 24 points instead of 21, go back to having the finals double points.
Which is why I don't think I'm watching the Grand Prix this year.
I'll still watch them. Someone's bound to get injured. It'll be entertaining.
I'm gonna have to cut that out. We can't say that.
Or as I was saying about the chopping room floor earlier.
But yeah, I probably won't end up watching it because I really don't just want to watch Marzik win again.
Well, I'm not sure. I know it's easy to say he'll win. It always is, because the last few years he's been dominant and there's no one really close to him. Probably the closest rider is Frederick Lindgren at the moment. And even then there is a gulf between the two. But I want to make a prediction here. I think this is the year Smarzlik gets injured.
What, is crappy riding catches up with him?
Or anything, really. Something happens that this year is the year he gets injured. I personally think. And I can't tell you why. I just do.
That's a bold prediction.
It is, because you can have riders like at the moment Ty Woofenden, who's got a recurring pattern of injuries. That just seriously hamper his performance. Or you get a rider like Greg Hancock, who doesn't get injured at all. Or Lee Adams. I don't think he was ever injured. But then, in like the case of Lee Adams, he ended up, paralyzing himself in a car accident or some kind. I can't remember. Quad bike accident or something like that. But yeah, like you can have a rider who, like Greg Hancock, like Lee Adams, who basically never injures himself badly, or you get riders like Ty Woofenden that are just on a recurring pattern of injuries every season. It depends a lot on who they are. Like, I've never seen Smarzlik have a particularly bad crash. Certainly not one where I've thought he's not going to walk away from this.
I don't think I've ever actually seen him in a crash.
Oh, you would have done last year in the Grand Prix.
I know he's caused a few.
Yeah.
That's going to be controversial to some people. I definitely know he's caused a few, because he was the reason why Poland didn't win the Speedway of Nations in Manchester in 2021.
I actually disagree with you there.
Oh.
For the way I saw it, Smarzlik's riding his line. Janowski has gone to the fence and found the heavy stuff, and that's meant he can't turn the bike. Nothing to do with where Smarzlik is.
It does sort of get in the way, though.
Yeah, but it's racing.
Yeah.
If the Polish team can't team ride, which it seems they can't, then that's not necessarily Smarzlik's fault.
True.
There's a good argument that Janowski's a slower rider. He should have been on the inside.
That's why I like that competition so much, because you see a different winner. It's not just Poland.
Yeah, although I don't. I quite like the 14 tournament. Although
I do, but I prefer the Speedway Nations.
Yeah, although that said, I do think it should go back to 25 heat format. Get rid of the reserve rider or whatever. Just 25 heats, 5 riders per team. Go straight for it. Make it actually entertaining. Or if you want to make it really entertaining, put fucking 5 riders on a tiny ass track. Put them on Plymouth. That'll make it entertaining.
Wait, it's not ready yet. It can't host anything.
It's all right. When is the next World Cup? 27?
Yeah.
No, it's 26.
I
think it's every 3. Yeah, it's every 3 years or something. I'll work it out later.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's views ahead and views behind.
No doubt we'll end up doing a GP predictions episode at some point.
Oh, we've got to. I've already made one, so
yeah.
Maybe we can cut that out and leave it for the GP predictions episode.
True.
But yeah, that's this season. I think there's still a lot to happen. I think it's very early to make any kind of prediction about how the season's going to go, especially meetings in March. That not only are they unpredictable, but they don't reflect like anything really. The tracks are different, conditions are different, riders are tired, or not tired, but fatigued away. They've been away from the sport for a time. And some of them have been riding out in Australia, but not all of them have, especially younger riders.
And jet lag from riding in Australia.
Yeah.
Especially if they've come back like right at the end of February, start of March.
Yeah. But yeah, I think we'll be able to say more by within about the next 2 weeks, maybe middle of April kind of time. For now, though, it seems to be going smooth enough. Plymouth will get their track sorted. They'll have to. But from what I've heard, it's not major. It is just the track has taken more water than they anticipated when they started the work.
Yeah, let's face it, we had a very wet winter.
Yeah.
So yeah,
okay. I think leveling blame at Plymouth for their track not being ready when they thought it would be is unfair, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I've no doubt it'll feature in the Shambles of the Year competition in December, but it's still unfair.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll say more when more fixtures are completed, when the championship starts up. And I mean, the
National League fixture is today, isn't it?
Yeah.
Although it might have finished already. I will look.
Oh yeah, I started at 1. 38.49.
Was it?
Yeah. Which is not a normal. Jesus Christ! What the heck happened in the first 5 heats? 5-0 in heat 1, 2-3 in heat 2, 2-4 in heat 3, 3-all in heat 4, and 2-3 in heat 5.
That is nuts. Where? Oh, wait. I know why Ben Trigger's riding for the Colts. It's because Sam Hagan's riding for Paul later.
Eh? How does that work?
The championship gets priority over riders.
Oh, shit. This isn't... Okay, yeah, fair enough. I forgot that bit.
Even though he easily could have done both meetings in the same day.
Yeah, just being lazy.
I wouldn't say lazy. I'd say...
To be fair, Manchester to Poole is quite a trek.
Yeah. Had it been at Leicester, maybe, but...
Yeah. I want to know what in the hell happened that saw 3 exclusions in Heat 4.
Springer exceeding the 2 minutes.
Yeah, 2 riders exceeded the 2 minutes. 1 excluded other reasons.
Confusion
actually,
here is Springer is sat at the gate and should be 15 back. Brilliant from Hodder to catch Scott and go round him. Ben 1 and 2 lap 4. McGirt was lapped, so he was excluded. Wait, when was that a rule?
it's always been a rule.
Huh.
If you're overtaken by the leading rider, you are excluded.
Huh.
So that explains that one. I'm wondering if those two riders thrown out on 2 minutes have been caught out by the rule change.
Yeah, because you have to be at the start line within the 2 minutes, don't you?
How
Not
it's
just on track anymore.
It's how it always should have been. It's how it always should have been. How it always has been. So what happened in Heat 2? Cubs and 5-1 clear Cots pair, and Springer pushing it too hard and falls on Ben 1 lap 4 up and okay, but excluded. But Kirk has bike problems and was lapped, so he was excluded. Okay. Now, how the fuck do you get lapped at Bellevue?
Considering the size, it is quite a fast track.
Yeah, but this is National League.
True. Times are still fair. Are still like
the only riders I ever saw lapped to Swindon. It was a similar length track. Was the that was in the British Youth Championship, and Swindon hosted National League fixtures. Not very often. It was usually a challenge fixture between Kent. But
I like these comments about the track grading. Tractors out again. They've done more laps than the bikes.
That's the Speedway
what am I
updates
watching?
form for
Tractor
you.
racing. Yeah.
That's the Speedway updates form for you.
Max James and event. I'm just reading to some of the comments. Hang on. This says Max James unavailable as he's with Edinburgh, according to Speedway GB, yet the Monarchs aren't riding.
Hey?
How does... But he's there for press and practice and media day. How does that... how does that take precedence over a meeting?
God knows.
Surely it doesn't.
Doesn't. You get banned for that. But yeah, so the shithousery continues.
Yeah.
Our live reaction to seeing a meeting result is right there. But yeah, there's nothing more to say. The Grand Prix haven't started. I'm not aware of the international leagues. If they have started, I've not been paying attention to them.
I don't, so meh.
No. I mean, British League, you'll know more in 2 weeks. The championship, the actual championship, not the championship BSN series, because that's just the knockout cup. Oh, yeah. It's the knockout cup, only not quite. But
they have the knockout cup as well, so it's sort of
it's just gumming up the calendar. But
it's like the Challenge Cup in ice hockey in this country. It's a similar format, which is stupid. But
I mean,
I'll hold my opinions on that.
I wouldn't know what that is. But yeah, so there's not much more to say really. We'll know more in 2 weeks ish if we don't get a series of meetings postponed, which could happen.
Again, yeah, it's March. It's still raining. It's the UK. I don't know what everybody expects.
I always remember 1 April. There was no speedway for the first 2 or 3 weeks, just because of the sheer amount of rain.
I vaguely remember one season. I think it might have been 2013. We had a meeting snowed off.
Yeah.
Because the track was covered in snow.
Yeah.
It's easily 10, 11 years ago now, though.
That does happen. Less so now, but it's usually just rain off or fog off. I think I've seen occasionally. That's not an insult. Generally, meetings you get fogged off. It's just important that riders can see the air fence.
Yeah, it's important they can see the track in front of them.
More entertaining if they can't, but
not so if they crash.
Try not to crash. That's the entertaining bit. Yeah, nothing.
Again, with the willing the riders to get injured. We need to stop that.
I don't want any injuries. I just think it's entertaining if they do. Cutting room floor again. I'm here for drama and controversy. It's just unfortunate injuries come along with it.
Yeah, true.
Usually to whoever gets punched in the bar afterwards, but whatever. Yeah, nothing. There's nothing more that can be said really. Well, we can do Grand Prix predictions and views probably around the same. Yeah, it'll be around the same time. I reckon we can get more information on the British League. So once things like the Time Tees Trophy, Border Trophy, other assorted testimonials are done, it's into the full league proper, with the exception of the Championship.
Yeah. I wonder if it'll run to December this year.
I think the BSPA are very strongly against that. Although
so am I.
Fucking Jubilee Trophy's still yet to be claimed. So
just give it to somebody.
Just flip a fucking coin at this point, honestly. Oh, run
Look
off.
who
There we
had
go.
the most points from all the meetings.
No,
Add
run
them
off.
up, and then.
Well, don't do that because they will
whoever-
find out it was fucking Glasgow.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
They pulled out of the final.
And it was a stupid format anyway.
Yeah, they reboot the 3-team tournament. Why not?
No, I'd rather not.
Fucking
But yeah.
bastard of a heat format. Yeah, nothing to say. So we wrap it up there.
Yeah, that's it from us. This was episode 2. Yeah, we'll catch you all on the next one.
You have been listening to episode 2 of Drop the Clutch Season 2, presented by Ruth Hanna, Frankie Sparks and Sam Payne, recorded on the 26th of March and the 29th of March, and edited by Ruth Hanna. This was a Drop the Clutch production.